is Rabbi. I'm an artist here in Los Angeles. I started out in a lot of street art, letters, and graffiti. I definitely use technology within my work. The good thing about the eSlate is it's a full computer, it's Windows 7. I got everything I need. I'm not limited to what applications I can put on it. I don't have to go to an app store.
And now to technology. One of Apple's thousands of iPhone applications created a buzz this week after the technology was used to paint a cover for the June 1st New Yorker magazine. But there was no actual paint involved, just an iPhone and the app called Brushes. Sharon Alfonsi checks it out.
From a distance, George Colombo might look like any other cell phone clutching New Yorker.
When you're sitting there and you're working on your iPhone, do people know what you're doing?
Nobody can tell.
But look closer. Colombo is actually creating fine art with his fingertips.
You choose the color and you choose the brush stroke.
Using a $4.99 iPhone application called Brushes, Colombo digitally paints, capturing dozens of iconic New York scenes, stroke by stroke.
And how long does it take you to do one of these paintings?
It can be done very fast, but if I want to do something a little more elaborate, it takes me about half an hour, 1 hour.
Half an hour, an hour?
Yeah.
That New Yorker cover, it took less than an hour. But it isn't just the speed of this kind of painting converting artists, it's the portability. Stefan Cardos is a Disney animator by day, but at night he leaves the pencils at home and paints Los Angeles with his iPhone.
If I see a nice sunset light that I want to paint, I don't have to take 10 or 15 minutes to get ready with my easel and everything. I just take it, start, and it's done.
Cardos was one of the first users of Brushes, painting those sunsets and turning smudges into the glowing lights of a liquor store. Some 40,000 other users have downloaded the application since August of last year.
The iPhone and Brushes are just a tool, like Photoshop is a tool, like your gouache are a tool, like your acrylic are a tool. It's just a different tool. This is art.
Look at the detail in the paintings by Susan Murtaugh. The Wisconsin retiree's work is currently being shown at a local gallery. She says the application is a stroke of genius.
The wonderful thing is you can carry it in your pocket, you can do it anytime you want, and the most brilliant part is there's no cleanup.
Finger painting never looked so impressive. Sharon Alfonsi, ABC News, New York.
I'm not limited to what applications I can put on it. I don't have to go to an app store. I put Photoshop on this thing. You can download, upload, you have a desktop, and you have a great workspace. Drawing on the tablet's really easy. The whole thing is pressure sensitive, so I could use my hand to select things as well, but they have a stylus that makes it real easy. With Windows Live Photo Gallery, I could be showing this as if I had a magazine, showing someone what I've been working on. It's the real deal.
So thanks so much, Don, for talking with us today.
Sure.
Let me get an idea. When did you first realize the potential of artwork on your iPad?
Well, I mean, right away almost. The app that I use on the iPad is called Brushes, and they had already had a version that worked on the iPhone or iPod Touch. And when they announced the iPad, they showed off this software, and it looked like it was much better because of the added screen real estate.
What are the implications of this? I mean, how do you think this will change the way artists work?
There's some people that get really angry and they say, these things will never be worth money, and what are you thinking? And I'm not necessarily thinking of trying to earn a lot of money selling these things, because at best they would be a print.
So you're not really looking to sell this?
I guess I didn't really come at it from a business standpoint. I just, like a lot of artists, we have our sketchbooks, we want to play with ideas. It's any kind of different tool is interesting to explore.
Do you think that for the typical observer that you could put one of the paintings that you've done on an iPad next to a real painting and people wouldn't be able to tell the difference?
Well, maybe some people. I think at its current state, that it would be easier to tell if a painting was digital if you did it on the iPad than if you did it, say, using Photoshop on a desktop computer, just based on the types of tools and techniques that are available to you. I just remember reading about Picasso and that he was just concerned about the image, not necessarily the technique, for example. And I feel that the same can be applied, and it's ideal if you apply it really to digital art, because it just removes a whole lot of worry about whether people can tell if it's digital. It's just about what your image is.
But it does seem, and maybe I'm saying something that's contrary to what you were just saying, but the technique of it, when you can watch yourself play it back as far as every stroke that you did to create the final image,
Sure.
You can kind of see, well, what did I do there that didn't work or that really worked?
Right. In fact, that's one thing I love about that particular application, is that it allows you to play back your paintings as a movie. I find that it's very interesting when I don't think about what I'm doing, and then I go back and watch the movie, and I see, I had no idea that I was doing that, or I see how I had this thing before, and then I changed my mind, but now when I look at it 3 days later, I kind of wished I kept it the old way. Or it's just an interesting way to sort of examine your own process. So if you were to watch those movies, none of them are sort of done in the same sort of process. There's the one of the big blue head, and that's a little more on the traditional side, and then there's others where it's just sort of free-form, abstract, and see what develops.
Well, I thank you very much again for talking with us, Don, and happy painting.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.